being very careful. I had collected all the necessary ingredients for my brief Now, I could start the actual preparation. My sous chef. I'll go back to Washington.
This man.
Let's do that. And now, salt and pepper. Now, I just have to follow the recipe step by step. First of all, the meat had to be minced. I was all out of ideas. Practical for making protein shakes to keep fit, for those who like that kind of thing. I'd be starting my culinary career by mincing. I put the meat back in the can, ready to be used. The meat was ready to be... The grater was ideal for... Let's start with seasoning. I hope to crack open the egg without breaking it. I've always been really bad in the kitchen. At that point, I turned the griddle on to... The root had to be grated first. I'd extract the spice from the root using... And now, the final touch. Finally, after a half day of unpaid hard work, our incredible chef... Now that I think about it, it still seems crazy to interrupt an investigation just to make some meatballs. Yeah, not bad for a beginner. Here's your meatball, chef.
I'd give it up. Oh, damn. And you took only half the day to prepare them. Maybe, let's see what you... Hell, it's formidable. I meant passable, that is.
I told you there was a real cook hiding deep inside me. I just had to spread my wings and fly. Can I take a heart now?
Suit yourself. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. And be on time.
Like a Swiss watch. I had finished in there, and I'd probably never touch another stove again in my life. Just a minute. Lazarus Bundy!
What the?
Now, I could... I never liked... Sometimes, my obsession with using random... With what I had with me, I was sure I could scare. I held my breath. Don't look down, Lars. Don't look down. It was time to terrorize.
My God, who's there?
You know who I am. As God be my witness. My imitation of medieval language.
But
Thy beauty beckoned me back to this.
but you are a...
Ooh, she was totally spooked. If the words had opened a crack. The woman took off like a race car at the green light. Well, at that point, I had to find something. Nothing interesting. Eric Molsberg wanted to keep me out of his room at all costs. So I sensed immediately, thanks to that irrational sixth sense that always assisted me at crime scenes. Nothing happened. Books on oil drilling. With the light on, I saw a little engraving in it. The engraving seemed to resemble the shape of the desk, but every row of drawers was marked by a musical key and a series of Roman numerals. I remembered seeing the sheet music previously on Catherine's piano. What if the musical references? Books on oil drilling. I had to brush away my doubts. Not the floor. I had to brush... Soapy water in a bucket. They were mainly books on shipyard management, the economy. The bed was made and it didn't seem to hide. There wasn't anything under there, not even... Cleanliness of that house was unnerving. The house owner's educational qualifications. The engraving I found on Molsberg's desk contained a musical reference that seemed to match those on the sheet music. I realized that the two clues were connected. The sheet music was the key that would let me unravel the secrets hidden in that desk. I remembered Molsberg's words when he confessed to me that he knew not the sheet music, therefore, had to conceal a code not strictly connected to music. Ruling out the two erased lines of the pentagram, 3 remained, each marked by a different musical key. Were the notes on the sheet music a reference to the drawers of the desk? I also noticed something written on top. Allegro aperto. In music, that means something like a cheerful open. The engraving seemed to resemble the shape of the desk, but ruling out the two erased were the notes I also... I knew that, with my hands shaking with emotion, I grabbed the folder. I was prepared for anything, but what I found on that paper left me speechless.
What do you think you're doing in my room? Who let you enter?
Normally, I'd have a pair of sarcastic answers for you, but right now, I've completely lost my sense of humor. How do you explain this?
You. This is an abuse of power. First someone leaves the phone receiver off, costing me a $10 million deal, and now this? You snuck in here and rummaged through my private documents without a warrant.
You keep on dodging the questions that really matter, Mr. I have a broken heart, please bring my daughter back. Your daughter was pregnant, and you knew that. And on top of that, you concealed the documents that proved it. I don't know if it's clear enough, but this makes you the prime suspect on my list. Who's the father? The guy in the picture I showed you? Answer me, goddammit.
Enough! Leave this residence immediately and never come back. And I assure you, you'll be hearing from me very soon.
I could say the same thing. So young Catherine was pregnant at the time of the kidnapping. Was it possible that was the motive? And what was her father's role in the whole story? Had he hidden the medical records to preserve his daughter's dignity? Or to hide a motive that would have been a red flag for the authorities? Night had fallen by then. Initially, I thought of going straight. Then, I was suddenly struck by a brilliant idea.
We're switching over to local news now, where we direct your attention. The well-known Chef Tony was arrested after many clients in his restaurant began showing worrying physical symptoms. The police report has identified the cause of the patron's collective discomfort as some meatballs, apparently prepared using dog meat. The chef defended himself, claiming he had given instructions for the making of the dish to an elusive sous chef, of whom no traces can now be found. What can we say? If it's a pet-friendly local establishment you're looking for, Tony's restaurant could really be your thing.
Yeah. Absolute number one, intern.
Isn't that because you're playing against yourself, Mr. Number One?
If someone had tried socializing rather than carrying around her job, we would not still be here arguing about it. So at the current state of things, I am the undisputed number one, and that's that.
In the meantime, your someone might have found something by analyzing the picture that was slipped under your door. I couldn't find any information on the man in the company of Cap. It's a decommissioned factory belonging to a company called Fallen Rose, for which I've written the address down. Unfortunately, there was no way to...
Yes, all right. It's all very compelling. But we'll think about the factory tomorrow. Now put...
You really had it coming, small town. What do you think about that?
That was beginner's luck.
And this?
That was clearly a foul. I found a surprise waiting for me.
Mr. Bundy, I was just looking for you.
Am I late with the rent?
The rent is the least of your problems right now. There are people, Mr. Bundy, who find your investigation really bothersome.
I don't need your fake warnings. Now get out of my way.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Wait! I'm listening.
Cooperate, and maybe there will be no unpleasant consequences. Many influential forces are at work in this story, Mr. Bundy.
Are you talking about Molesberg? Did he send you?
No names. Keep your curiosity under control for your own good.
If you want my cooperation, you gotta give me something in exchange.
I could give you much more than you think, if you answer properly.
Not good enough. Tell me who sent...
Okay, Bundy. You win.
Wait! I'm listening.
Many influential forces...
What forces are you talking about?
You'd be surprised to find out how
I've worked my whole life to expose the truth.
praiseworthy, but
Wait! I don't talk. Show me your face, and maybe.
My face is irrelevant.
Tell me something.
Cooperate, and maybe.
That's not exactly what I'd call reassuring. I'm listening.
Cooperate, and many influential forces are.
I'll take the bait. What are these forces at work?
That you don't try to push beyond. That you accept your place as an insignificant exile and spend the rest of your life in the shadows. You have a choice to make, Bundy. Choose wisely.
I have worked very hard to get to this point. I can't quit the case.
A praiseworthy and daring choice.
Wait! I'm listening.
Many
I'll take the bait.
you have a choice to.
Okay, I quit. Really, it's not a matter that concerns me. I'm sorry for the girl, but in the end, the important thing is that they don't.
You just made the best choice. Oh, Bundy. Just some advice. Let this be our last meeting.
The guy had been clear and explicit. I could be sure that if I didn't comply with his demand for answers, he'd kill me without giving it a second thought. My rational side urged me to really let it go. Goodbye case, goodbye challenge, goodbye unsolved mysteries, and goodbye Catherine. But no, I couldn't leave that girl to her destiny. Her father did something horrible to her. He had hidden the truth from the world, maybe even going so far as having his own flesh and blood kidnapped or even killed. No way I'll give up. I am up against the wall. Things just get better and better. I had fallen asleep with my clothes on. That visit the previous night had shaken me more than I wanted to admit. Well, that must be Alice. The door's open. Come in. Hey, intern. Welcome.
Hello, Lars. Do you always leave the door open?
Yeah, of course. So the delivery boy can leave me the Harbinger at the door and I can do this? Hey, Alice, look at that.
Did they finally find Ramos?
Much better. Today, the Harbinger is giving out firecrackers to celebrate.
You get excited over very...
But it's a pop-up.
I was expecting different furnishings. You look more like a guy with...
Everything was more or less already like this when I got here. Hey, what do you mean by... Well, at this point, I'd say it's best to leave behind the beating.
Are you talking about when the ball slipped and landed on my foot? Or...
Well, I did get a strike, right?
Yes, in another alley.
Try to make yourself at home.
As I was trying to tell you yesterday evening, I couldn't trace any information about the man in Catherine's company, which is quite strange, considering that I have total access to all...
But this can be explained in perfectly legal ways, and in any case, it doesn't help us with the investigation.
On the other hand, I found some...
It does...
The company itself did business in many sectors. But here's the kicker. Although the company is supposedly bankrupt, I found signs...
So, they're still there. Alice, I need access to that factory, this very day.
It could be risky, but I certainly won't stop you. I feel... And by the way, my zealous detective, I think it's time you tell me everything you know about the case we're investigating.
All right, at this point I can't... Okay, let's start from the beginning. That is this... This is, in broad terms, what pushed me to investigate the Molesberg case.
I'm still not totally clear on the relevance of the porn magazine.
Oh, that? Wait,
Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's really absurd. How did you manage to get your...
This could be my big chance at redemption, Alice.
I get it. I better get back to the office.
I'll leave with you then.
Well, see you later then.
Alice's contribution was crucial, giving me another lead to follow. An abandoned factory belonged to the phone. I figured I should also swing by Nancy's. Maybe I would be able to talk to them. Come to think of it, this was the day I was also supposed to have my interview with that. I had serious doubts about what to do. Maybe it would be better to go back. You are Roger the Tramp.
Firstly, the term tramp is now considered in. Secondly, it is very rude.
I beg your pardon, but I didn't realize.
Do not be absurd, boy. I'm not the I'm Duke Roger Emerith Ravendish III.
Yet you live on a bench and you have a.
I also rummaged through the refuse.
This guy was. Well, Duke Ravendish.
I am at your.
So you are an actual.
The Ravendish family dates back to the 16th century.
I can only wonder how an actual duke ends up living.
I do not think my.
Do you remember where you were to?
At Chef Tony's, a modest.
You answered with extraordinary.
I stick to my weekly.
I see. Of course I am. Do you want to see?
Your poor attempt at dressing like Sir Arthur Ignatius Conan Doyle's cat.
What's your point?
If you are a detective, it means that you are a Ergo, you can help me save
Your what?
my dwarf palm. My shelter from the. I have spent my afternoons basking in the shade of its leaves.
Explain.
My palm was judged to be sick.
I think I understand what you're getting at, but I have to point out that someone could consider this an.
I am not offering goods in exchange.
That man was used to these kinds of negotiations. All right, let's see what I can do.
Make that red mark disappear, and then.
So what if I asked you to remember the night?
Oh my! If only someone would take care of.
I think I know perfectly well who that someone is.
Quid pro quo.
Don't leave the country.
I would be
That red mark with fresh paint sentenced that poor. It had to disappear if it wanted to. I thought it was better to look for another. That red mark with. It had to. Making the mark darker wouldn't have deceived the pest. That mark had to disappear. Typical seaside. And this would be an abandoned factory? I'd underestimated the size of the matter. That building was huge, and I'd lose an entire day trying to inspect it completely. Plus, the place was being watched. I had to find a. Hello. Did you by any chance come from the future to stop?
Huh? I don't understand. Who are you?
I am. Maybe it was best to use a fake name.
Like the cartoon they show everything. I like it a lot. I am.
Meeting you is a huge pleasure. So,
I'm guarding the. Mama says.
responsibility.
Exactly. Mama said if someone will.
You kick them out.
I break his back every time this happens.
The innocence with which he confessed this Eugene was oblivious about. I heard you mention a certain.
Mama Cecily.
Is she your mother?
No, but she took.
Or.
Yes.
And what's.
She tried to explain. She says she loves working with.
Loan Shark. And is she here now?
No, she comes later.
Better and better. She must be a bear.
Imagine that once, when she was young, she took gas and mat. Boom! The owner says it's because of that funny story.
So.
I don't know.
I mean, only certain people.
It's true. It works like that. Only, and that's just me. No. I broke the back.
You really know how to have fun around. What do you think about giving me a.
Like when you're. I know.
Let's play a game. I am a Japanese tourist. The game is not started yet, Eugene.
I don't know, Stallone. I'd really.
I had to persist. About the owner of the. He runs the.
Yes, he's
Responsible, Eugene.
I'm not good at doing indents. He's not funny, though. Mama says.
Her, Eugene. Is this him, by any chance?
Yes, that's Redwad.
Ah, well, he and I are old friends. I'd really like to enter and
Now he's out, but you can wait for
What a shame.
and jump out from a corner screaming boo. I'd really like to, but
At least now I knew the name of the mysterious character in the photo. Radwed. Let's suppose I managed to convince this mom.
yes?
Where would I find Radwed's office?
I can't talk about this. Last time I disobeyed, she took away Bert, and she made
Good lord.
my stuff.
Well, it must.
You can say
Getting back to us. Are you sure you can't tell me anything?
no and again.
That information was you. Even if I managed to enter the factory, I'd risk being seen roaming. I needed Eugene, so I had to So,
A pat.
I have more important things to do than stay here to correct your grandpa.
Bye, Stallone.
HPD did a great job of wallpapering all. The poster fluttered, held only by two little, contained all the details about a missing little dog. The upteenth beach party, complete with a contest for surfers. I even tried to surf once, but my scarf continually covered my eyes, and I kept on falling. The sign consisted of a simple R alongside a rose falling. It matched the company name, Fallen Rose. Mamma mia, look at those cars. Luxury convert. I couldn't climb over it with that brute. The poster fluttered, held only by two little pins. It contained all the details about. I saw a hole in the wall, right behind that fluttering poster. The manhole could have been a perfect gateway into the question was, how to get there. Alice held her own quite well with that computer, and I had started to rely on that. I always wanted to drive one of those. Even after entering the premises, I don't think I could. Hello.
Hi, Lars.
I've been to the factory you mentioned this morning, and you know what, Alice? That place is anything but abandoned.
Which makes it a real lead, instead of the potential dead end that it seemed.
The problem of sneaking inside remains, though. The place is guarded by the last descendant of a race of prehistoric. Yet I think I found a possible access point. You can hold your own with that hellish thing, can't you?
I'm usually able to find out more than
Remarkable. Could you provide me with... Alice, I know it may seem strange, but I need a map of the city.
You want to go through the sewers? Give me 2 minutes. All right, I already found an up-to-date map, and it wasn't easy. I had to hack the server of the Miami municipality.
And you did all that in...
I'm messing with you. I just loaded the appropriate site and found a recent map. Are you sure you want to sneak through the sewers all alone? With or with...
Recently, I met a kid that could prove...
Let me know what you find in there. And most of all, be careful.
You bet. Bad feeling...
That would be too negative.
Yeah,
Not really. But wait, you could say bad feel...
great. This time, I'm sure I have to do...
I'm starting to make you lose sleep over...
So, I think the trauma is not due to your adolescence, but the fact that you don't have a picture of your parents on the desk makes me think that is because of a family conflict in your background. Time and fatigue weaken the woman, causing premature aging.
Come on, knock it off. My father, on the other hand, is a retired detective, and he's still... I dare say he was probably a...
So you think this will be enough to make me declare surrender? See you later.
Bye, Lars.